I was just an ordinary human when she appeared, the alien warrior. She came from a distant world, a place where power, strength, and dominance were revered above all else. I didn't know why I was chosen. In fact, I didn't even know what I had done to deserve this fate. But there she stood, tall, regal, and demanding. Her eyes burned with an intensity that I had never seen before. With a swift movement, she reached out, taking something from her chest. It was a crest, intricately designed with symbols that seemed to glow faintly. She held it up, her voice cold and commanding as she ordered, "Wear it, now." I was confused. I thought it was some kind of cruel joke, some bizarre custom from her alien culture that I couldn't possibly understand. But when she forced it into my hands, the sensation was undeniable. There was no choice. It slid onto my skin, bonding with me in a way I couldn't comprehend. The instant it touched my body, an odd feeling coursed through me, like a current of electricity, mixing with something deep inside, something primal. "What have you done?" I gasped, staring at the crest now embedded in my flesh. I tried to pull it off, but it wouldn't budge. She stood over me, watching with a predatory gleam in her eyes. "You are mine now," she said, her voice low, almost possessive. "The crest signifies our bond. You are my mate." I blinked, my mind reeling. This couldn't be happening. There had to be some mistake. How could I, a mere human, be her mate? She was an alien, a warrior from another world, a creature far beyond anything I could ever understand. At first, I thought it was a simple misunderstanding, some strange custom that could be easily undone. But as the days passed, the effects of the crest became undeniable. It wasn't just a piece of jewelry or some odd token. It was a mark, a bond that tied me to her in ways I couldn't escape. I started feeling things I couldn't explain. Strange emotions, alien thoughts, visions of faraway worlds, of distant planets and skies I'd never seen, began to invade my mind. I tried to fight it, to resist, but the more I struggled, the stronger the pull became. It was as if the crest was slowly taking over my thoughts, bending my will, making me feel connected to her. I began to understand her better than I had ever wanted to. She was ruthless, a powerful warrior who had fought and conquered many battles. But behind her strength there was something else, a desperation, a need. It wasn't just the crest that bound us. It was her belief that I was her mate, her partner for life. The bond between us wasn't just physical. It was emotional, spiritual, something that transcended the very nature of our beings. She treated me differently now, as if I was no longer just a human, but a part of her. Every moment I spent with her, I felt myself slipping further and further into her world. I couldn't escape it. The more I tried to resist, the stronger the connection became. "You are my mate," she would say, her voice filled with certainty. And as much as I wanted to deny it, I knew deep down that she believed it with every fiber of her being. She had marked me, and now I was bound to her. But there was something more. Something dangerous. The more I wore the crest, the more I realized that it wasn't just a symbol of love or bond. It was a power that I could feel deep inside me, awakening something primal, something ancient. The crest wasn't just a symbol of mating, it was a symbol of control, of possession, and she knew it. I didn't know what she had planned for me, but I could sense the darkness creeping in. As the days went on, I began to question everything. Was I truly her mate, as she claimed? Or was I just a pawn in some alien game that I couldn't possibly understand? I wasn't alone in this, though. As the alien world began to close in on us, I realized that there were others who saw our bond as a threat. Her enemies, the ones who had followed her across the galaxy, who had watched her rise to power. They wanted the crest for themselves. They wanted to tear us apart, to destroy what we had become. I knew we had to escape, but I couldn't fight her. The bond was too strong. The longer I wore the crest, the harder it became to separate myself from her. Her thoughts, her emotions, began to intertwine with mine. I could feel her anger, her desperation, her desires, all of it flooding my mind. But I couldn't give in. I couldn't let her control me. In the midst of the chaos, a revelation came to me. The crest wasn't just a bond. It was a tether, a link between us that could not be broken. If she died, so would I. If I died, she would feel it. We were tied together in ways that no one could understand. I was no longer just a human, caught in the crossfire of an alien war. I was something more. I was her mate. I was her partner, whether I liked it or not. And the more I tried to escape, the more I realized that I couldn't. I couldn't escape her. I couldn't escape the bond. And in that moment, I understood. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It wasn't just about escaping. It was about acceptance. It was about understanding that the bond between us, as strange as it was real, and it was unbreakable. As the battle raged on, I had to make a choice. Would I embrace the bond and become her true mate, or would I fight it until the end? I knew the consequences of both choices, but in that moment, I realized that the only choice I had was to accept it, to accept her, to accept what we had become together. We fought side by side, our bond stronger than ever before. And as the dust settled, I understood that this strange alien connection was not just a curse. It was a gift. It had made me something more, something greater than I ever thought I could be. I was her mate, and she was mine. Together we were unstoppable.